Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. We're going to do a very different type of video today. We're going to talk about some career advice. And I honestly have to say that this might just be the most important video I've ever made. And no, that's not clickbait. Okay, so before we dive in, those of you who know my channel, you probably noticed that I turned off all monetization. So no more ads, no more patrons, no more channel members, none of that. I literally just removed everything. Simply because I don't want to contribute to YouTube's wallet anymore. Now, that doesn't concern you to the point that I've always wanted you guys to have my content for free, and that will always be the case. I said that from day one. That said, I do appreciate your support. I'm not gonna lie, it really helps me as well to spend time on doing these videos. So if you feel you would like to support me or buy me a cup of coffee or whatnot, I'll put a PayPal link below, right? Okay, enough about that. Let's look at the video of today. And again, this might be one of the most important tips I ever gave on, starting a career as a 3D artist. So what are we talking about here? If I do live streams, and when I do live streams, I always hear people say, oh, I want to work for Pixar, right? Or I want to work for Dreamworks, or, one of those massive studios. And it's kind of interesting because a lot of people are inspired by what they do, and me included. I mean, I started in 3D because of Toy Story 1 back in 1995, right? So, hey, nothing wrong there. The thing is this, though. What do we actually know about working for Pixar? And again, I say Pixar, but I mean the big studios, yeah? What do we know about it? What we know is what you see on TV, what you see in the movies, what you see in the merchandise. It's a carefully constructed PR and marketing machine, right? And of course it is, because that's how they make money. They make awesome content. I'm the first person to say that, but they promote it so well. So you could argue that what you know about Pixar is what you see, right? What you see on the billboards, what you see in the movies and so forth. That doesn't necessarily say anything about what it's like to actually work there, right? What I do know, though, is that thousands of people actually want to work there. And that's kind of what this video is about. Because the fact that so many people want to work there, it's a highly competitive environment. Now, what a lot of you probably don't know is that I have been a manager for a long time, decades. I have hired and fired many people. I have reported to directors, to vice presidents, to executive vice presidents, all of that, yeah? And one of the things you hear from your manager, if you are a manager yourself, is that you need to quote unquote manage your resources. What does that mean? Well, every person working in the company has the same goal. That is to support the continuity of the company. The company is here today. The company has to be there a year from now as well. So top down, there are goals. And the goal might be, okay, so we need to make money, we need to make profit. And as part of that, we're going to make a new project. And as part of that, we need animators and so forth and so on. Yeah. So that trickles down from the top. Now, if you're a manager and you are expected to manage your resources, we're talking about hardware, software, but most importantly, we're talking about staff or employees, okay? Now, if you look at an average setup of employees, and I'll just try and make a quick sketch here. That's probably going to look horrible, yeah? Okay, if this is, let's say, a scale of 10 employees, right? What you will have is you will have 2 people in that group, and this is purely statistics, right? It's not exactly 2, but generally 2, yeah? You'll have 2 people in that 10 in the category high performance, yeah? Then you'll have 2 low performance, and then you will have 6 in the middle, and that's kind of your average Joe or average Jen or Linda or whatever, yeah? So the graph kind of looks a little bit like this. So this is kind of a small area, that's a small area, and that's a much bigger area. Now, why is that important? Well, the manager is told what you need to do is you need to keep the high potential people in the company because they're important to us. They're very talented, they're high potential. You need to spend part of your budget to keep them in-house. This can be a raise, this can be a bonus, this can be training, this can be opportunities, all of that stuff, right? So you're spending dollars in that area. So dollar, dollar, dollar. So these people, they get a lot of opportunities, okay? Now, then we have the group in the middle. And the group in the middle is, like I said, kind of your average Joe, if you will. I mean, they're not the best of the best, but they're not the worst of the worst either. A lot less money is spent here for that development, okay? Then, interestingly enough, you have the low potential. And you could argue, why are they in-house? Well, the thing is this. Low potential doesn't mean that they're bad. They can be solid 3D artists, right? But if you look at any group of people in any company, you will have people that are better than others in certain ways, more talent, more skill, whatever, yeah? So for this category here, the low potential, these people need to be managed to either move up in the world, right? Or leave, one or the other. So you don't want to be in that bottom group. You might want to be in that middle group, and preferably you want to be in that top group. That kind of makes sense, right? Okay, now let's take a different approach on representing these numbers. So I'll take two pyramids here. Now, let's say the top one here is Pixar or Dreamworks or whatever, and the bottom one is your local animation studio down the street, okay? Let's say Pixar has 5,000 employees, I have no idea, and your animation studio down the street has 10. Let's project those numbers again, okay? So you got your high potential, your low potential, and then you got your AJ, average Joe, yeah? Okay. So we're looking at what? 2%. So this is a really small section of people, and this as well, statistically speaking, right? The thing is this. If you are working for a company with 10 employees, then chances are that you will start somewhere around here, right? At Pixar, if you start there, new, straight out of college, the chances of you starting here are pretty much non-existing. And keep in mind, this environment is very, very competitive. Why? Because everybody wants to work at Pixar, right? So you are competing with thousands, where here you are competing with maybe one or two. Now, the thing is, there's nothing wrong with you wanting to work for Pixar, but the thing is that something you want straight out of college? What you want is an environment where you can learn and grow. And the simple fact is, a company with 10 employees, where there are much less employees, they need you to step up. They need you involved in pretty much everything because they only have 10 people, right? So your learning curve is much, much faster. I mean, from day one, you're involved in projects and whatnot. If you're working in an environment like this, it's much, much slower. Now, you could argue, yeah, but there's a lot more to learn here in this top area. True. So my advice would be, start out in an environment like this, right? And do that for 1 or 2 years. So you get through this phase, and you even probably get somewhere around here through that phase. And if you then still want to work for an environment like Pixar, Dreamworks, whatever, and you then apply, chances are you move up to somewhere in this area where you don't have to deal with this super, super, super competitive bottom layer, right? You're bringing some knowledge to the table, you're bringing some skill to the table, and you probably have a better understanding of whether you really want to work at a company like Pixar. I mean, enjoying what they do is one thing, but being part of that is a whole different ballgame, okay? So, yeah, this is my career tip for you guys. Please let me know in the comment what you think. Is this a type of video you guys enjoy? Let me know, and if you've got any questions, I'll put my email address below so you can drop me an email and we can talk about it, okay? Well, that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry about the horrible sketches. I know it looks horrible, but hopefully the message came across, okay? That's it for today. Thanks so much, and see ya. Bye.